What's up guys, I'm Marlon Vicentini and I want to show you guys a little bit of my Logic session for Overthink and how I produced it. Let's go. Alright, so let's start from the start, right? The intro is made by 3 parts. We have the first one that is very much made of ambiances, and the whole song was made a lot of with the Logic samples that you can find right here. So all these are Logic samples. So let's start with the melody sample. It's like a lead synth with a distortion. There's literally nothing going on in this sample, you know, it's literally just a sample. And with it, it is on the left. So, and you can hear on your right, this sample that originally came from this sample. So I just rendered it and reversed, and I got this result. Okay, it's giving us the harmony, and then we have this other thing. There's harmony and there's melody all together, and kind of a groove also. And to fill up the time sequence, because it would be nice to have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, because it's always going on like the counter beat. So I added these voices: 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is literally adding these beats. Okay, so all together we have all this. Okay, so for the second part of the intro, we have the same thing, but now with a bass. So this bass was the only bass I could find to record that. I don't think it's the ideal sound or tone of the bass that I would like on this song, but originally it came from a MIDI bass, really played on a keyboard. And then I just reproduced it on the original bass, on the real bass. Right, so it's the same thing with the bass. And we're gonna build up for the intro up, right? So we're gonna have this sweep and the scream. Alright, so this sweep is just a white noise thing with this one knob bumper from Waves, right? But you can do the same thing with a tremolo from Logic, whatever. This is the plugin that I used, but you can do literally the same thing with a tremolo natively from Logic. You know? So what it does is that it's pumping the sound, right? It helps to give a movement. And my favorite thing of the whole song is this screen here. Okay, just listen to this. Right? So what is going on here? It has a lot of reverb and delay, but it originally was like that. Just that. And you can hear also the room sound on the mic. This is processed. Beautifully made up. So let's go for the intro up. Now we have drums. That is, for me, another really good thing on the whole song. Alright, so for the drums we have also samples, okay? So we have 3 main samples on the whole song. So the sample 1 on the left, it's like a vintage drum groove with bongos, okay? And the second sample is that. A more vintage hip-hop sample, like a boom bap thing. Alright, if you come together, they will complete each other. Okay, but I was missing a little bit of the punch of the kick, so I added this synth kick from Logic. Okay, it's literally like a drum synth. You can like change the way things sounds, you know. You see, you literally design your kit. Yeah, so together the drum sounds like that. one in the left, one in the right, and the kick right in the middle, right? And then we have this fill up to make the verse, and the verse there's like a few bongos entering to make this transition between one sample to other, and the drum come from the sides straight to the middle right now. The middle, okay? And it's a different sample, a little off-grid, and I love it because of that. Okay, right? So that's very much it. And let me see if something changes in the intro. Yeah, we have this piano that enters right now. It's not the reversed one, but the original one, right? Okay, and then we have the verse.
Philosophy's coming up and down in my head. I'm teaching things that I don't understand.
So for the verse, we have this thing entering in here to add a little bit of melody and layers. So it's another sample. The original sample is like that. I just made it a little more closed and distorted. Made it a little more full of textures. And we have this one. Is the same vibe from the intro, but you know? Okay, so that's the verse.
Philosophy's coming up and down in my head.
Not a lot of things happening. Very clear. So for the voices, let's hear the voices.
Philosophy's coming up and down in my head. I'm teaching things that I don't understand. I don't have a...
Yeah, vocal chain is in channel strip. The SSL channel strip. Tuner from, I believe it is Late Digital, Metatune. A compressor from Logic. A de-esser, another channel EQ just cutting a little bit of the lows. A limiter, and that's basically it. Reverbs are being used and processed on a bus. So what I do when I'm recording vocals is that I do these vocal chops. Can you see that? So you can hear a lot of different versions of the same verse. So this is one version. There's another.
Philosophy's coming up and down in my head.
There's another version.
Philosophy's coming up and down in my head.
Another version.
Philosophy's coming up and down in my head.
And I generally select, the best sentences of each take. On this one I did 22. But there's times that I do like more than 100. And on this case I used really not very much of cuts. I really used like long versions. And what I did is that I just duplicated it, and for each one I selected a different take to make it sound like many voices, right?
Philosophy's coming up and down in my head.
Okay, and to make this really not very harmonic sounding, I just added these vocal transformers to change a little bit of the pitch. So if you hear this one,
Philosophy's coming up and down in my head.
You will hear that is 2 pitches up and 1 formant up. The formant changes the way your voice sounds like. The pitch changes the notes that you're singing. So 2 pitches up, 2 semitones, right?
I'm teaching things that
And this one, I believe it is 2 pitches down, 1 pitch down, and 4 formants down, right? And this one, I believe, is an octave.
I don't understand. I don't have a balance between my head and...
No, it's really just a little bit. So together they sound like that.
In my heart, always somebody overstand. Feelings doesn't work very well for me. People always say that I don't have empathy. Making up solutions.
Right? So they together with the song sounds like that.
Philosophy's coming up and down in my head. I'm teaching things that I don't understand. I don't have a balance between my head and my heart. Always somebody overstand.
Right, and I love the second part that this sample just stops playing.
Always somebody.
And it changes so much the way the music sounds like. Listen to how the sounds just closes.
Always somebody overstand. Feelings doesn't work very well for me. People always say that I don't...
Just for a moment you have this whole empty thing happening. Right?
I don't understand what they mean.
Then we have this pre-chorus that will build up for the chorus. That is the main part. And on this pre-chorus we have the same drums from the intro with the bongos, but reversed. And there's a little secret going on in here, is that I automated a high cut. Right? So it is closed and it's going to open a little bit, open a little bit. You can see that in here, opening, open. Okay, and This little secret is what made the song to open up in this part.
Can't do anything.
The same sample from the intro, okay?
We can't forget and can't forget.
Rise up. The only thing you can hear is the reverb from the voice.
Can't forget.
And everything comes back all at once with the screen and more instruments than ever.
Can you stop? Can you stop? Can I have a moment to think?
Right, so let's start by the drums. There's not many things different in here from the drums. We have the same samples. But now I added this snare sample. And we have a gate reverb that is a very common technique from the 80s, from the 70s, that you add a reverb on the snare. But right after you just cut it with a noise gate. You see? So the reverb has oh my god, the siren is sounding. And that's what's happening in here, right? So in the whole groove you can feel it, and with the kick, right? And this percussion, so it makes it a little more groovy. Okay, and now from the instruments we have the same white noise riser, but just falling right now. Okay, and then we have this, the same thing from the intro, the same thing from the intro. Okay, same thing from the intro. But now we have 5 synthesizers making the whole harmony of the chorus, right? So we have this first one. Right? This one, you can see there's not a lot of lows because I just cut it out, right? Because the idea is just to give this brightness for this one. Right? So together they sound like that. And then I added this 808 to make it even bigger. Okay, so 3 basses, and we have this harmony synth. I love it. Okay, and one of my favorite things from here is this vintage synth harp. Okay, together. Very magic, right? So if you listen to it, it's basically that. Now with the voices, right? Listen to the voice.
Can you stop? Can you stop? Can I have a moment to think?
So yeah, as I just said before, the vocals had these vocal chops, right? So you can listen that I did for the chorus around, I don't know, 22 takes or more, 20 takes around that. Let's hear that.
Can you stop? Can you stop? Can I have a moment?
So you hear, can you stop is one take. Can I have another take? A moment to think, another take.
Can you stop? Can you stop? Can I have a moment to think?
So what I do when I'm selecting is pretty much just doing like that.
Can I have a, can I have a, can I have, can I have, can I have a, can I have a, can I have a,
I really think this one's the better.
can I have a moment to think?
And I do that, you know, that's basically what I do. Listen to it all together.
With my heart, can I take a break from it?
Just love it, just love it. So yeah, almost the whole song is made by that, but we have different thing going on the second verse. Let's hear that. That's a really bit of tricks. So to come back, we have the same idea on the drums of the bongos, calling.
And here we go again, the voices in
But now we have these triangles, right? Bringing another vibe.
And here we go again, the voices in my head are screaming too loud, telling me
But now we still have this one.
I want, that I won't get anywhere I want. And I wonder where I'll be.
And now we don't have any more.
Maybe doing shows on stadium somehow. I don't.
Okay, realize that? So in the first part we still have these drums. It's really full. But on the second one, I have the same feel. And then we are dry. But we have again the same thing happening in here. Right? Oh, and there's a different thing that I didn't show on the bass. The sauciest thing from the music. This little riff. Right, so that's pretty much that. So that's pretty much that for the drums. And now I don't have anything different from the harmonies. So, but from the voices, we have a really good thing happening here. We have.
Here we go again, the voices in my head are screaming too loud, telling.
Can you see how they are dissonant? They're not respecting any like scale thing or harmony thing. They're just very dissonant because, as I told you, like there's one that is one octave down. There's one that is like one semitone, two semitones up, and one semitone down. So what I did is that I automated the pitch so you can see those little things, because in here I'm really out of scale.
Here we go again.
I'm just saying, you know, like a rap thing. It's just saying stuff.
And the voices in my head are screaming too loud, telling me
And starting from this I'm starting to like sing on the scale.
Screaming too loud, telling me
with a melody.
I can't do anything I want, that I won't get anywhere I want.
And you're gonna realize that all the voices are in harmony because I just automated that. You will see that like in here it is +2, in here is 0, in here is -1, in here is 0.
Screaming too loud, telling me I can't do anything I want, that I won't get
That's nice,
anywhere
right?
I want. And I wonder where I'll be 5 years from now.
Out of tune again.
Maybe doing shows on stadium somehow. I don't really care yet. That's
Back on the
what I
scale.
say. Trying to convince me it's gonna be okay.
The same thing going on in here.
Can't do anything.
But from the second time, I didn't want it to just go literally trying, so I wanted to give it different things, and I love it.
We can love, we can.
The same idea of opening up the sample in here, and it cuts. But we have another sample coming up in here.
Can't forget.
You know this one? That is the bass. Listen on how it just gives this little movement. So I added a tremolo, 132. You can see how the depth are going up. No tremolo, starting entering the depth. It's cutting. I love it. And it together with the FX sweep. Right? And when you hear it, like this is so beautiful.
We can hold, we can.
Only on your right.
Can't forget.
I love it, I love it. And the chorus is the same thing.
Can you stop? Can you stop?
Until the end.
Oh, I overthink.
And for the end, we have this. So what is happening here is this reversed Rhodes. Actually, this one I played, I recorded it from, I believe, a Rhodes from Keyscape. I don't have the Keyscape here anymore, but like I played 4 chords and I bounced it and reversed it. Right? With the same sample from the start. Okay, and now we have a whistle. I recorded that. It's not a sample. This one is recorded. You can hear that. So the same thing that, almost the same thing that I did on the voice, I just let it here. And to edit, I did the same thing with the flute. like a native flute from Logic together. And also we have the same drums from the chorus, this from the chorus, reversed with a filter going up in here, and the same other drums reversed that we were using in the pre-chorus all together. Opening up a little bit, opening up a little bit. So that's pretty much that. I love to produce this song. Probably is my favorite one on the whole album. And I remember that when I started producing the album, I had a few songs in mind. I didn't like they didn't exist. I would write them in the future. And this was one of the songs that I had the name like written on a list that I did, like songs that I would do, and I just wrote "Overthink" as a song that I would write about overthinking, because I was living something about that. And when I wrote that, I was talking about different stuff, about relationships and things like that. But I decided to talk more about me. So I didn't want it to be talking about like external stuff all the time, like problems that happen externally, but I wanted to talk more about my internal process. And this is overthink. That is really something that happens. Well, yeah, that's Overthink. I really hope you guys liked it and enjoyed it. I don't know if I will make this from other music, but if you wanna, you can comment down in here. What song should I break down? Yeah, that's pretty much that. Thank you so much.